Weak men. A word thrown around most likely almost anywhere and everywhere. He's a weak man. Do you even know the definition of a weak man? I don't think you do. Growing up, I've been around strong men and I've been around weak men. I've been a strong man and I've been a weak man. A lot of people like to put in perspective that it's only physical that a man can be weak, but evidently that is incorrect. A man can be weak emotionally, mentally. And mentally weak people are often the worst. Like Joe Rogan said, we're in tough times. Hard men create soft times, while soft men create hard times. And soft men, hard men create soft times create hard men, soft men create hard times, and the cycle repeats. Same thing with being weak. A weak man will create hard times. A strong man will create easy times, peaceful times, and then so on. Right? The cycle will repeat itself again, but that's where you can break your cycle, not the whole cycle, because you have to remember, it's the cycle that repeats itself. You have to make it hard on yourself. And you're like, what do you mean by make it hard on myself? And what do you mean by weak men? A lot of people like to imply that being weak is being skin and bones, having no muscle on your body. But it's entirely not true. It is in ways, but the definition of weak is the lack of strength. That's the easiest way I can put it. The lack of strength. When you lack strength, that can mean almost anything. If you can't pick yourself up or you can't pick up a weight, you lack the strength to pick up weight or pick up yourself. Now, I'm not saying that only men are weak, but I'm saying most men that are weak are ones that cause harm to others. And I've seen it, that even strong men who go to the gym can be seen as weak, who are weak. Men who can't keep their emotions in, men who lash out on their emotions are to me and to the rest of society, well, should be seen as weak, right? Another one is a person who bullies other people is weak. So you're telling me you bully people that are weaker than you because you want to feel yourself confident, you want to be as strong, so you want to be seen as the most alpha or whatever, seen as the superb or highly intelligent or even the strongest one there, or like you're the superior and they're inferior to you. That's the word I was looking for. That you're their superior one and no one else can judge you or no one else can tell you what to do because you're the man, you're the boss. Another one I would like to say is weak is men that lash out on emotions such as sexually. Right? Men who physically or verbally sexually assault women or other men. It's possible. It is real. You can sexually assault a man too. As a man, you can sexually assault a man. It's there. It happens. But men who do that are weak as well. Men who sexually assault, grope, say derogatory things, pervertive, are weak because they can't keep their mouth closed. They can't shut the fuck up. And that also implies with coming out with words or making a smart ass remark, right? Someone says something, a child says something to you, and you decide to hit him with a rebuttal. You decide to fire your own shot back at them. That's kind of being weak because you're downplaying it and you're trying to match the life of a child or even a woman. Some women do that. Men do that too. Another one is being weak is, this one's really goes under the radar. Self-doubt. Self-doubt. When you doubt yourself, you are weak. You are mentally weak. When you doubt yourself or you don't have confidence or you don't have the strength to stand up for yourself, that is being weak. And that is another form of self-weakness. And the hard thing about being a man is, the hard thing about doing this as being a man is the hardest thing is one fuck up, one slip up is all it takes to be seen as a weak man. It truly is. You don't have to. You can be the most stoic and most hardcore, strongest man ever. But the minute you make a single slip up, is you're seen as weak. And I know it sucks, but it's true. Lash out physically or verbally by saying words or something. Now the rest of the world and society sees you as weak. And it's the harsh reality that men have to go through, that you are one inch away, one snot away, one knot away, one slip up away, one finger of a nail from being seen as weak. And it's not easy to be a strong man. It's not easy to be mentally strong or physically strong. It takes work, it takes time, it takes effort. But I think you need to be strong. You need to be strong. Not for others, but for yourself. And then so on for others too. Start for yourself and then do it for others. That's what it all comes down to, is when you're a weak man, you need to think about how to become strong for yourself. Like Jordan Peterson said, you should become a monster, an absolute monster. Then you should learn how to control it. You should learn how to be able to handle hard situations, be able to handle a dark conversation, be able to get into an altercation or a fight and be able to protect her and to be a provider. You should be able to withstand your own ground, to hold your own, to not take any crap from anybody. Really, truly. If people might tell you to shut the fuck up, you say, hey, don't tell me what to do. Walk away. Be the bigger man and walk away. And I know that's hard for a lot of people because you want to say your piece and you want to be dominant, but you walking away is probably the strongest thing you can ever do. You might win the fight if you decide to go down that path, but you're still weak because you gave into your emotions. You decided to go off your feelings, and now the world sees you as weak. But then again, you might feel stronger because you beat someone up. Hey, sometimes I've felt that feeling too. But now that I've realized it, some people will see me as weak, and they will see me as hostile. Do I like that? No, I don't care. But some people see that. All it take was one slip up for me to fuck it up, and people see me as weak, and they feared me and they hated me. And it's okay. But I was an instigator, not a protector. I was an attacker. I was weak. So, being weak is not limited to your strength, your size. It goes beyond that. You have the lack of strength. You lack strength in all those fields if you were a weak man. Another one I like to call is being weak is I suffer because I'm a weak man too. Some days I'll fucking be Marcus Aurelius and be stoic as hell. Other days I will feel weak and I will procrastinate, and sometimes I will, I don't do it because I like to keep my mouth shut. But sometimes, and I hate to admit it, but it's true, I will look at a woman lustfully. It's not easy being strong, but you should. Creating hard times for you will make those hard times and the rest of the time seem easier and softer for you, because you create hard times, tough situations that push you under a lot of stress, that push you under a lot of pressure. All this pressure and stress that you put on yourself is good, both mentally and physically, because it puts you in a situation where if you were ever in that dire situation where you've practiced this long enough, you will already know how to operate and how to think and how to follow what you've learned already. So it is easier. While other people who don't practice this and it starts to get to their head, they will evidently lash out and act out on their emotions. And that could be physically, verbally, sexually assault someone is on the same bears of that. But try to be strong for yourself. And once you're strong for yourself, be strong for others. And that's not even just to men. I don't know. I don't think any female would watch this. But the reason why there's weak men in this world is because of half of the reasons because of you. I'm looking at you. Yeah. You create weak men, but you also create strong men. It just depends on which man you come across. You break a man's heart, he will reinvent himself, or he will go down into a bigger pit of despair and become an incel and hate all women, despise all women, maybe abuse women too because of one mishap. But then again, there's this other person who might go through the same thing. Now it's time to change himself to become a better man. And once he does that, well, that's those hard times will create tough men. But then again, if you put a soft guy, you put a guy who's had soft times, and he gets put in one hard time, he might not crawl out of there. He might stay in the pit. It made him feel like the world is against him, or why did this have to happen to me? It happens to everybody. But when I say it, you just gotta realize one or two things. You're weak because of it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you're weak. And that's not just me picking on you, it's just me telling you the truth that you can become strong and you can be strong. And yes, women, it is some of the parts of yours, some of the problems you cause men could be hard times or soft times. Soft times are really good though for men sometimes. But if you create the hard times for a soft man, he will do absolutely anything in his power to make you suffer, make you pay, get revenge. I've seen those people where they abuse their girlfriends because they're weak and they don't know how to deal with hard times, tough situations. And I don't want that for you. But also, again, I want more men to be strong. We need stronger men in this world. We definitely need more stronger men. People who act on their intellect, not their emotions. And not just spew bullshit out of a book because you read it online and you think it's the answer. I'm talking about real strength, real intelligence, thinking for your fucking self. So, there's your definition of weak men, of what it is, what a definition of a truly weak man is versus a strong man. And that is solely on you, whether you want to be weak or strong. But just remember, the weak times, that the hard times you create for others will only create strong men. And those strong men will create soft times. And those soft times will create weak men. And those weak men, well, yes, they will create hard times. And those strong men will be rebuilt. So it just depends on who you want to be and what you want to do. But I will tell you this, that the more hard times you give yourself and put yourself in a situation, the softer times and the harder the times get, the easier they are to handle. Hard times get easier to handle because you're used to it and you begin to adapt to hard situations. Your mind begins to develop in different ways, and just as well as your body, your brain is a muscle. Remember that. But that's all I got. Weak men, strong men, two definitions, two different meanings, two different people, different times, but different ways of thinking about things. So that's weak men and strong men for you. Alright, that is it from Mr. Mushroom Mumbles.